Welcome to Super Mario Bros. Free. We're now on part 5. What level is this? Well, it seems to be the token, generic world. I thought we were going to be on the sky world, because every level, every Mario game like this has a sky-themed area. Because the sky is a separate planet, don't you know? It's where all the fairy tales happen. You know, like the one about video games that are fun. I have no idea what I'm talking about. There's a freaking star and I want to get it, even though it doesn't really benefit me in the long run. I think, here's the thing, when you're a kid, you want the star, right? Because it's fun. When you're oh my god. What is this, a freaking Sonic Frontiers cyberspace level? I'm sorry. But yeah, but when you're a kid, you want the star because it's fun. But when you're an adult, it's like you realize, wait a second, actually, the mushroom's the better power-up because it gives you an extra hit point. But anyway, forward-facing Mario. Wow, these sprites. They look really cool, actually. I freaking love the timbre on the square wave they're using right now for the track. It's not a regular square wave. It's like slightly distorted. It's like they've mixed it with a different wave, which I'm not even sure if you can really do on the NES. It's quite limited when it comes to what kind of sounds you can produce using its monophonic instruments, but, you know, still... Oh no, wait a second. Is this going to be like a... Oh, are we technically still in the big world? I'm not sure. I'm still a little bit confused right now, to be honest, but is this going to be one of those non-linear stages? Oh no, it's just the whole world shook, and now I'm getting a whole bunch of extra lives. Hell yeah, I'm totally gonna need those. What, because I'm playing this on real NES hardware where I can't save. It still is kind of baffling, though. This game doesn't actually have saving at all. Oh, the background tiles aren't right. That's fun. It is always great to see the little, the holes, right, in the illusion. That's something that, on one hand, you miss it. Right, you miss when games had those gaps in their presentation, but you also kind of feel grateful that you're alive to witness all of these incredibly polished games you're getting now, but you kind of... You feel, okay, this is an extinct... Well, it's not extinct, actually, because there's tons of games that are intentionally made to look like they have those flaws, not by choice, when in fact they are by choice. But still, pick a box. It's my... No, I'm not saying that. What? Oh, it's the Tanuki suit, which I literally have no idea what... Oh, I know what it is. It lets you turn into that statue with the big balls, which, you know, of course, they're not in the game. They couldn't show that, but still, that's the one that all the YouTubers love to bring up as a fun fact. Before we go to the castle to actually tackle this stage, just again, I want to showcase as many of the levels as I can. Yeah, no, this seems to be like the land part of the non-land world, if that makes sense. Oh my god, why are we going to the left? What is this, Metroid? There you go. See that right there? That's supposed to be the... I love it. I love that about Mario games. You can just get a pickup and instantly... Oh shit, it's the Karibo shoe. It's, for some reason, a fan favorite item. I mean, I guess because it appears only once and it's like super out of nowhere, just a big shoe that the Goombas are in. And it's random and funny enough to make people remember it, I guess. And it really is interesting what people will take away from certain games. Like, that's like the most iconic thing about this... The most iconic thing about this game. The Karibo shoe. Even though it's not really even all that useful. It is pretty useful, actually, because you can jump... Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe I should have not killed that Goomba and taken his Karibo shoe so that I can, you know, make this next section quite simple for me. But instead, here I am, actually doing this legitimately, semi-legitimately, like a fucking idiot, instead of just cheesing it using the frickin' shoe. But that's okay. Are we genuinely supposed to go left? That feels so wrong. It's like reading from right to left, when like you're reading a manga or something. It's so instinctively counterintuitive, despite the fact that there's really no reason for it to be, but our brains are wired to go left to right. Wait, does that mean that people who live in the countries that read from right to left find it odd to... No, well, because I'm pretty sure most Japanese is read like up, down, and then right, and yet they invented the 2D platformer which goes left to right, so... Maybe, well, to be fair, they were probably trying to appeal to the Western market because they're aware of just how much bigger it is, right? Regardless, you know, it's so easy to forget some games come from certain parts of the world because they're so carefully engineered to appeal to a different part of the world, you know? Like, there are some Codemasters games I forget are British when, you know, they don't feel like it because they know that, like, they have a very wide audience in the States. Well, primarily for like their more arcadey style racing games. I mean, like some of their rally games, like their older ones, like the Colin McRae games, some of them never even made it to the States, depending on the version we're talking about, which always surprised me because, like, really, does America not care about rally? Is fucking NASCAR all they care about? Because, I mean, it has something to it. It's more than just they go left, haha, but at the same time, you know, rally's cool too. I don't get why it wouldn't have a broader appeal. You know, it's pretty fucking extreme if you think about it. It's actually one of the most dangerous like motorsports ever because it's just so unhinged. I mean, it used to be, especially back in the Group B days, which is why Group B isn't really a thing anymore. And of course, we all know the meme, Samir, you're breaking the car. It's great when people just take random bits of gameplay footage and overlay that, like they synchronize it to that footage, and they just, okay, how the fuck is this gonna work? No, like that. That was actually quite easy. Says the person using save states. No, I mean, things can be difficult with save states too, you know? It's just it puts a little bit of a band-aid on the difficulty, if that makes sense. You know, I recently played Doom on the Atari Jaguar. That game is fucking impossible on the standard difficulty. I think it was Hurt Me Plenty. Absolutely unplayable. Not because it doesn't play well, it actually does. For a, you know, haha shitty AVGN fodder system, it runs real smooth, really fast. The controls are fine. The strafing's a little awkward, but still. But it's just the enemy placement. Like, goddamn. Then I played the the freaking Super Nintendo version of Doom, like Super Nintendo Doom with the red cartridge. And you know what? It was actually way more playable. Like, it was slower, sure, but I think the developers, oh, for fuck's sake, they probably had that in mind and knew not to clutter the levels with too much stuff. So it's a very interesting experiment, that game, just to see what the Super Nintendo could do. And really, that was the weakest system for Doom to be released on at that point. In fact, it remained that, come to think of it. I think it might just be the weakest because the Sega 32X, well, the Genesis already by default had a faster processor, so, you know, that's out of the question already, and it had the 32X attachment to make it even better. So no shit, that was better than the Super Nintendo already. Even if the Super Nintendo usually took better advantage of what it had and made its games more impressive, which is why, you know, the 32X kind of wasn't all that great, but whatever. And the Jaguar is objectively also way more powerful. The hell's happening? Okay, there you go. Let's go into the poop castle because it looks like a mountain of poop. Here we go. Why would you ever make something spiral shaped like that? You know, it's just, maybe back then it didn't look like that, but ow. You know, I've always found it weird how a game can have this kind of sense of humor this early on in the industry, because you know how everything's so tongue-in-cheek nowadays and trying to like be as internet meme as possible to try and make the game catch on, and when you force it, it never works. Ooh, vertical scrolling, nice. Well, the thing is, I feel like Mario was actually one of the first to be kind of funny in that way, because whenever you die, it's like you know, he looks at the camera and it freezes on him. It's like, I don't find it funny, but I feel like it's supposed to be. Maybe that was the idea behind it at first, then I just stuck around because obviously it did. I don't know. Also, I was editing the last batch of videos, and I realized halfway through one of the renders that I forgot to do that thing that I said, that I would lower the opacity on one of my borders to showcase part of the screen it's not rendered correctly. And I'm not going to make the promise to do it again, because I'm probably going to forget again, and it'll look real fucking weird when I tell myself to do it and then I don't. But basically, when you're watching that, you'll know. I mean, like, at this point, you'll have already seen that episode, because it was episode 2, I think. This is episode 5. Now, why am I calling them episodes? They're parts. You know, the set dressing is really fucking beautiful in these levels. Although hearing the castle music when you're not in a castle is still cursed. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Also, what is this? Whoa, more vertical scrolling. It makes me kind of want to play. You know, I've always considered Super Mario Advance 1, you know, that being Super Mario Bros. 2, the USA version, to be like the HD version of... Oh, damn. We're here now. Okay, that was a really cool transition. I've never seen that before in a Mario game, where you're just kind of going through a level and you don't even finish the level normally. All of a sudden, now we're in this brand new area. That's actually kind of sick. Can I use this hammer on the door? I guess I can't. Well, we're just going to go to level 4 and just Oh no, it's one of the good thing I have save states, because this fucking stage, it's gonna eat my lives away. Actually, it doesn't look too bad so far. I'm assuming that's gonna start to spin, or maybe I have to jump on it and then it'll start to spin. No, some of them just don't spin. Okay. Sprite flickering. I'm not sure if you're gonna see that actually, because this game runs at 60 FPS. Harder, a game system from 1983 was able to do 60 FPS. Meanwhile, current systems can. Listen, man, this game isn't trying to push 50 billion polygons at once. Like, yes, it is disappointing that at one point in time, mainly the 7th generation, games started to prioritize. Actually, no, because the 5th gen has that a lot too, but that's because they just couldn't. They started to prioritize the visual fidelity over performance. But I'm not gonna lie, with some games, I feel like with some systems, at least from the mid to late 90s, no matter what they did, it probably wouldn't have run well anyway. Just the concept of having a polygon on the screen, probably would have just been too much, other than, of course, the Dreamcast. And, I mean, the N64 has a couple games that actually run at 60 while being polygonal-based, like GoldenEye. GoldenEye runs real fucking smooth, which is, oh, shit, you gotta do that. I'm not sure if it's a perfect 60, but it's very impressive, when I played it, fucking, like, several months ago now. I haven't really been playing too much of GoldenEye, to be honest. Hey, we're Furry Mario now, nice. Let's do that thing. Where is it? There you go. Dunk. Cool. We've done it. Now we're never going to do it ever again. It probably does have a practical purpose of, like, making it so you... Oh, come on. Why would you downgrade me like that, game? It is kind of annoying how certain blocks will, like, get nudged and have stuff in them. I like the backgrounds at the end of the levels, too. They're really cool, black and white. This game has a really great sense of style. It's a little bit strange, a little offbeat, but it makes sense. It's very cheeky. It's kind of fun like that. What do we have in here? Oh, of course, some more oversized chests. Those always look really weird to me. That's one thing about this game. The sprite detail is like, it feels inconsistent. Is this my 3rd page worth of items? God, you can hold so many freaking items in this game. Okay, where do I go now? I'm guessing I have to go, down here. Let's see what's in here. Probably another one of those. God, it's a weird sprite. Why does Mario only have a high detail sprite when he looks like that? Okay, you know what? I'm fucking tired of losing this, so I'm just gonna keep trying. Let's see, is it this one? No, okay, let's try it on the flower. And then when I do it on the flower, I might be... Oh, fuck, wait, that might have been too soon. It was too soon. Okay, on the flower. There you go. And is it gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? Yeah, I had to cheat, but I got the 2 lives, which are completely unnecessary. Also, I have funny Reddit number coins right now. Did you notice that? I've always been confused as to whether or not you actually pick up those coins on the map. What was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, so it is disappointing sometimes to know that some games will prioritize visuals over performance, but, well, you gotta understand, like, it's one thing to show a 2D image like this that just never changes, another thing to show a differently lit and animated and textured and all of these things 3D model, right? It's just such a different beast, so... Like, yeah, of course you can have games that are in full 3D run at 60 FPS, even on a console. There's plenty of examples of that. But I'm a little more willing to forgive when games don't do it, compared to most, I guess. Well, let's be real. Based on the success of the Nintendo Wii and the Sony PlayStation 2, people clearly don't care that much about frame rates, because those two systems are notorious for having lots of games that don't run very smooth, just because they weren't super powerful. Or, because they weren't optimized all that well either, but they did have a very large install base, and those systems succeeded a lot. Like, they did really, really, really well. Even the Switch now is doing stupid well, even though most games on it run like shit. Okay, no, they don't run that bad. Like, we've learned to reach at least a consistent 30 with most games. In fact, we did that years ago. Ow, fuck. Alright, let's do this again. Let's not get hit by that thing. I love the rotation on... It's not real rotation, but still... There you go, it's just, it's flickering between different sprite shapes, instead of actually rotating the sprite like it's Mode 7. But I imagine that would have given the NES an absolute aneurysm to do. So, fuck it, let me go ahead and... No, let's not use the frog suit. What do we do? I don't fucking know. Mushroom, just go with a mushroom. Don't waste your really good items on... Whoa! Everything's very red in this area. Oh, this is a really cool environment. Again, I'm seeing a lot of this shit for the first time. Now you're probably thinking, how? This game is literally almost as old as your parents. Yes. I haven't played it, though. It's like I've seen a lot of it. I've heard a lot of it. I recognize every single piece of music and every single enemy. Sure. but I definitely am but I'm definitely not familiar with the individual stages. And that's what's amazing about video games, that you gotta play them. I mean, it is possible to become 100% familiarized with a game without playing it. It's called a walkthrough and or 100% playthrough of the game. Like, if I were to be a little more thorough with my playthroughs, you could just watch one of them and you would be 100% familiar with the game. Everything. That's how I, for example, back when I was a kid, before I knew how to play some Sonic games, how to get them working, because it's so difficult, right? You just fucking put a file in there and run, whatever. I would just watch, Clement and all those other playthroughs, and I would just know. I knew everything about the games before I had even played them. Like, you'd think I have like 100 hours in Sonic 06, when no, I only have like maybe 2. I've played a bit of it, some of the stages. I would never want to do a full playthrough of that game though. Like, the individual levels are awesome. Like, it has, specifically for Sonic himself, he has some great level design. I'm glad that some people have realized this. Like, even, Some Call Me Johnny's absolutely legendary John Plays series, which he did many years ago on Sonic 06, he actually complimented the level design quite a few times, because yes, the levels are actually super good. Just that there's a lot of utter problems. Like a lot of utter problems in that game, and that's what kind of made it. Because video games, at least by that point in the 7th generation, well, honestly, it might as well be an HD 6th gen game, to be honest. But still, by that point, games are so much more than just the parts, right? Like, you couldn't have just, really great levels and that's it. No, you gotta have everything else be really great around it. You gotta have a sense of progression, a sense of story, movement, like you're actually doing something important, at least to some extent. And that's when things kind of mess up. It's not even because of the plot, because I can't tell you for the life of me what a good story is. The only time I can think of a bad story would be if, like, the characters do things that don't make sense. Which, to be fair, that actually kind of does happen in Sonic 06 to a certain extent. But still, can I make this jump now? Thank you. There you go. Oh, wow. Wait, don't jump now because you will die. Jump, man. Remember when we used to call him Jumpman? No one calls him Jumpman. Mario, Jumpman, Mario. Actually, wasn't his name Mario Segali? Or was that his name that they appropriated for the series? Like what was it, the Super Mario Super Show? Oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that's a really cool looking enemy. Can I kill him? Yeah, of course I can kill him. He has a little extra animation before you kill him. That's nice. Blue coins! Oh, you can't see that. And I'm not going to remember to edit away the border. But basically, the border would be covering up, or maybe it's not covering it up, actually, because I think the border doesn't go all the way to the... Doesn't matter, but basically, you might have seen a little bit of blue coins going on right there. Anyway, we could have actually skipped that stage, but I wanted to be thorough, so I went ahead and did that too. The levels are so short in this game. In fact, we're probably just going to complete this entire world in this part. It might go a little bit longer than I'd like to, but it's okay. I mean, we don't want to, like, we're so close to the end of this world, you don't really want to end it just like that, right? So let's go ahead and complete it. This stage is actually not as difficult as I thought it would be. I'm making it through no problem. I haven't even died yet. Come on. Oh, there you go. Easy. And now we can... Actually, I think I can just sit here and take the hit anyway, because I forget, how does this game's damage system work? I know it doesn't send you all the way back to Small Mario. That's how it was in the Japanese version, I think. Not exactly sure. Or was that for Mario World? Where in one of the two versions, it actually uses the same system as this? I don't remember, man. It's so much shit. But I forget as to whether or not, if you're Small Mario, when you pick up a third tier power-up, or I guess a second tier power-up, like a flower or a leaf, if you become that thing, or you just become Big Mario. Because I know, like, in Mario 1, for example, it's a very binary system. It's like, okay, well, you're small, pick up anything, and you become big, right? Even if you pick up a Fire Flower, you're still just going to become regular Super Mario. And does anyone actually call him that? Like, does anyone refer to Mario's large state as Super Mario? Or, because apparently that's how it's actually supposed to work. Like, he's just regular Mario when he's tiny, and then when he becomes big, he's Super Mario. But it's like, oh, you absolute nutta. Fucking GTA Vice City. Remember that guy, Kent Paul from GTA Vice City? That was definitely one of the characters to exist. Why did that become a meme? Why did we start saying one of the whatever of all time? I think it's because it's a subversion of... Because you want to say one of the something, an adjective, and then of all time. Yeah, okay, well, he's a bird. Why the fuck would he... I hit enter again. Stop it, you fucking Counter-Strike. Actually, I've never really enjoyed Counter-Strike all that much. You know, I recently played the Xbox port, and it's fairly good, but it was a game released on the same system as frickin' Halo. Like, it's not gonna work. You know, if you're a first-person shooter on the Xbox and you're not Halo, well, okay, there are some pretty decent non-Halo shooters on the original Xbox, to be fair, and the 360 had a fuck ton of them. I make it seem like I really like Halo. I actually don't like Halo all that much. I just find it quite fresh and unique, even though it's objectively not that fresh, actually, but whatever. I find some of its art design quite appealing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird like that. Like the character Master Chief, for a first-person shooter protagonist, he has this design that feels very unique, even though it's actually not that unique. There's lots of characters that look like him, but for some reason he just stands out. I don't know. Maybe it's the voice acting. For fuck's sake. It's one of those few games that has like actual authentic sounding voice acting. I think me growing up on Sonic games made me so accustomed to their kind of admittedly not great voice acting. Even to this day, the voice acting is just fine for the games. It's not super natural feeling, but that's kind of the whole point because they're cartoony games. So when I play a platformer that has a voice acting that sounds like an actual person who speaks like a real person, it sounds really weird to me, you know? I keep expecting them to have this really phony delivery, right? And I'm not talking about like Sonic and the Black Knight where they were specifically directed to sound like that, which was actually a neat touch, although it kind of annoys me because it does mean that Jason Griffith's, basically his peak, was wasted on that kind of direction, which is why actually his peak is most generally considered to be Unleashed and also, what was it? Riders Zero Gravity as well. That game's cutscenes were just fucking insane. But yeah, it's just when I play like Jak and Daxter, for example. I don't know, like when the game is obviously not realistic, but it has realistic sounding voice acting, if that makes sense. I don't know. Hey, he's got a really long beard that's generating an extra pixel. No, it's just moving one of the 2 pixels. Okay, cool. What's the princess got to say? Let's see if I can do that. If I can remember how to do that voice that I did last time. Be careful in the ice world. The creatures trapped in the ice will come to life if warmed. I've enclosed the jewel that helps protect you. Thanks, Peach. And now we're in the ice level. Hopefully we don't die on the ice physics. Whoa, the music is so cool. Fuck, wait, I just realized that... You know what I mean. Also, look at the freaking glistening effect on the ice. That's sick. God, this game is awesome. Anyway, I'll see you guys in part 6 of Super Mario Bros. Free, where we'll be tackling the ice world. I'll see you guys then.